Pisces, Pisces sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Pisces starting today, the 13th of January, 2023. We're moderating. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Sarah, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much, Dre. And thank you, Pisces and friends of Pisces, for joining us today. We're reading with this ancient tarot of Spain, Spanish tarot. And I've already purified with this homemade Van. You can find links on where to purchase the deck and how to make your own Van spray by following the links in this video description on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, if you're on YouTube, you don't feel like watching, on a restream anyway, and you don't want to watch me shuffle, you can use the timestamps right in the video description to fast forward to the reading. This does go out to a lot of people, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, just disregard it, because it's probably not meant for you. And if that's the case, you can check out the zodiacal readings for your other signs, or remember that we have a general reading for all signs each and every day except for Monday. And on every Sunday, we come out with a weekly pick a card reading. You can find the most recent restreams of all the tarot readings right on our website, arielscorner.com. arielscorner.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link in the main menu. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, please make sure that you are following us on Twitch, and you can watch on Twitch without any ads when you subscribe to us there. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks if you happen to be on YouTube. If you don't feel like doing that, or if you're on Twitch and you still want to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga. We do appreciate your support, but mostly Pisces, what we are appreciative of today is that you're here for this 2-week reading. And I'm going to shuffle 2 more times. Give this deck a nice clean cut, and we will see what the cards reveal for all of you gorgeous Pisces. Ooh, clean cut. Voila. Alrighty. Queen of Swords, 5 of Wands, let's go. And Knight of Swords, yikes. Okay, well, there's a difference between the anger that you're feeling sometimes that is positive, and just the Queen of Swords bitchiness. And it's important to discern between the two. It's important because a lot of times what happens is if we're going through a Queen of Swords experience, remember these court cards represent personality facets within ourselves, the way I read. So this isn't a person in your life, this is a part of your personality. And the Queen of Swords, just like every other court card, is a personality facet that's always in potential in every human being. And she's part of the ego mind that tries to shut down our good, because that's, unfortunately, as human beings, we have self-destructive tendencies. And the way this self-destructive tendency reveals itself is through bitching, moaning, complaining, and conspiring, and coming up with all kinds of cases against ourselves or other people as to why they're not good enough or we're not good enough. And she can be extremely subtle. Sometimes not so subtle, and it depends on, you. Because if you're at that point in your development where you notice certain things that you say or do, and you say, "Oh, wait a minute, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to change that." If you're at that level, she gets more subtle. She just gets more sly. And so just if you can notice, the kinds of things that you say under your breath, even about yourself and about the world, it'll show you when she shows up. Now, when you start noticing that and you say, "Okay, I'm gonna shut that down. I don't want to be like that." What she can sometimes next do is say, "Okay, that's right. You're right. We don't want to be like that ever. And then she makes you feel bad if you have feelings of anger. She makes you feel bad if you get righteously furious about something. Sometimes this Five of Wands talks about sometimes anger is necessary, healthy, helpful. And she is so sly and cunning. She wants you to feel bad about that. Right? So it's important to realize the difference between Queen of Swords and Five of Wands. Five of Wands is when you need to get angry because we talked about this on the general reading today. It's up for people. If you're in a state of depression, anger will get you up out of bed. If you're being victimized by somebody, anger will get you to stand up for yourself. Sometimes anger is so important, but it's a stepping stone. It's not the end goal, right? So if you don't allow yourself to embrace that positive anger in yourself, then you can become victimized even more because you are shutting off that one little system inside your personality that's there to protect you from these things. So don't just shut down your anger, Pisces. That's not smart. It's important to differentiate between when anger is a I don't even want to say justified because ultimately it's never going to be justified, but it sometimes is a necessary tool in the awakening process, especially if you're going through something that needs your attention, that needs you activated. Sometimes anger is the only thing available, and so it can be a temporary device that we need to use in order to wake ourselves up. But if you're shutting that down and you're misunderstanding what that is, then you can also be vulnerable to other people pulling you into their nonsense. There's a difference between that kind of anger, which is just kind of righteous fury, which is not a long-term thing. It's usually a very momentary thing where you just need to move energy, stuck energy. There's a difference between that and conflict like this. The inner conflict that is built to last. And this Knight of Swords is our ability to, or our tendency, I should say, to allow ourselves to get wound up by others. That's not the same as the Five of Wands. I mean, it can be. The Five of Wands can give you a burst of anger so that you just, in your mind, say, I'm not listening to that anymore. They can just get out of my life. I'm sick of them. That can be very positive. But if you're suppressing that, then they can get you wound up about things that pull you off your path. They can so-called trigger you or push your buttons and get you really distracted. And then she likes to take that ball and run with it. And they all tend to want to keep you living in the past. They're all directing you toward the past, whereas the Five of Wands is directing you to now. So if you're angry at something, don't just suppress it. Let it be there, and you'll know if you need to express your anger. Just do it in a non-toxic way. And sometimes my favorite way when I'm going through this is just to be by myself and to start screaming four-letter words as loud as I possibly can, maybe in a parked car or something like that. It feels wonderful. But we don't want to stay there, obviously. We don't want to live that way. Another thing that you might do is go to the gym and work out, or go get a massage, or go run around the block, or pound a pillow, whatever you need to do when you're going through that to move that energy. And then once that energy's moved, you're going to feel so much better, and you're going to be much better equipped to say no to these triggers that are out there. We're so much more easily triggered if we are suppressing anger. All right, we've got the High Priestess, we've got the King of Cups, that's you, and we've got the Knight of Coins. See, we have, again, this tends to happen where we have two parallel tracks that we're operating on. On the bottom here is that personality track where the ego wants to keep us separate from our higher mind so that we can, stay kind of stuck and allow ourselves to be manipulated by others, etc. Whereas this Five of Wands is trying to get you to break out of that so that you can wake up to what's really going on, and that's your spiritual mastery. All this whole time, even though it looks like you've been going through it. I mean, I won't try to sugarcoat it. It looks like it's been sucky for many of you. And I'm sorry about that. I really am. But all the while it's been sucky, you've been growing. You've been maturing in a wonderful way. And you've been gaining more and more and more mastery, spiritually speaking. And don't confuse being a spiritual master with somebody that never allows themselves to express anger, that never allows themselves to feel anger. And also recognize that when a spiritual master feels and expresses anger, they do it in a very positive and responsible way. And that's what you're not only being given the permission to do, but look at it as an exercise. Look at it as an assignment. Let me find my anger and see if it needs to either be expressed or at least doing something in my body to move it, to move the stuck energy. That's spiritual mastery. So you want to make sure that you understand that so that you don't say, oh no, in order to be a spiritual master, I have to be so zen all the time. And it's just, we're not going to look at that anger because it's not very spiritual. That leaves you open to all of this ego attack, right? Now, the High Priestess card here is one of your cards. She's one of your cards because she's that veiled Isis. She's the part of the goddess that has to operate behind the scenes and in secret. And it's really important to understand that who you are as a spiritual being is so much bigger, not only than what other people see, but than what you allow sometimes yourself to see. And you want to start seeing those hidden parts of yourself and experiencing them and knowing them. And even though you can't always really know them, you can know they're there. You can know they're there, and that you're so much bigger than the Queen of Swords. You're so much bigger than these annoyances and these irritations. And you're definitely bigger than your anger, but this anger here that you might be suppressing is when you express it and you move through it, you're going to move into a higher state. It's almost like a Kundalini rising, where you're going to be more attuned to these mysterious parts of yourself. Not only that, but you're going to see that the universe starts to bring you so much assistance in the physical world. And I'm talking finances and health and all of the stuff that you need. All of that just starts to come to you because you've let go of the resistance to it. Even though you're not necessarily working on it specifically, maybe you're not working on money or on health or something like that. When you're doing what I'm talking about today, where you're really looking at where am I suppressing anger? Where am I not letting myself be honest with what I'm feeling? And how can I express that in a responsible way? And then you get that energy moving and you become one with that spiritual mastery that you have. And then all this stuff just starts happening automatically for you that you're not even consciously trying to make happen. I mean, some of it you might be, but you'll be surprised how much assistance is already there for you, and the way that things move in your direction when you get rid of these suppressions and these resistances. And you also become less prone to your ego mind trying to thwart your happiness. So it's a beautiful time for you, Pisces. I just want you to recognize that it's okay for you to have anger. And it's okay for you to express it very, in a non-toxic, responsible way. You can do this and do it for yourself because you deserve to move beyond all of this stuff that's been going on and into that mastery and into the success that is your birthright. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me, and thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Sarah and Dre. We will see everybody all you Pisces in 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Blessed be.